Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, where we talk about the art of intentional living. Today, we're going to be talking about change your life in 30 days with habits that stick. Change your life in 30 days with habits that stick. So, that is the title of our show today. And I want you to stay till the end because what we're going to be doing today is talking about some of the areas of your life, whether it's health, whether it's money, whether it's relationships, just things in your areas where you've got habits that maybe you've had for a long time, and things that you want to change and you just haven't figured out how to do that. And you've tried lots of things. I hear this a lot that, I've tried everything and nothing works. And well, what we're going to do today is talk about that. And why is that? What's actually going on in the mind? What's causing that to happen? And then I'm going to give you some strategies for making changes and building habits that actually stick. So if you're here for the first time, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much. If you've been here before, I want to say welcome back. What we're doing right now is streaming live. So if you are here live, put it in the comments section live. And if you're catching the replay, do that as well. This is our TV show. We are streamed on many, many platforms, E360 TV, Roku, Hulu, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. We're also streaming on all my social media platforms. That's Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. And we also, hello, Diana Sabatino. Nice to see you. And then we also are using this as our podcast. We pull the audio off the video for those of you that prefer to listen to podcasts. So today it's just me in the studio, and I wanted to do a show on creating changes and habits that stick because I've been surveying a lot of people. I've been seeing a lot of things coming up. By the way, thank you all for the comments that you sent me on social media because I asked, what's one habit that you'd like to change? And what I'm going to be doing during this episode is a very special segment later on in the show called Mentor Me Minute, where I am going to handle every single one. Hey, Benny. Every single one of the comments that you said, I'm going to give you strategies to change those habits. How fun is that? All right. So what's been going on here is, oh my gosh, so much is happening. We've been in go mode. We've got 2 events this fall coming up. We've got a TV show hosting a boot camp that's coming up. And then I've got a live 3-day event in San Diego, California called TV Host Maker Live. We're going to be filming this show live in front of a studio audience. I would love for you to come. We'll have information about that. So, and then we always end every episode with a live mantra meditation because we want to take in everything that we've learned today and really incorporate it into us so that you leave the show feeling better at the end than you did at the beginning. And that is the purpose. You know, it's to inspire you, empower you, and educate you through life's transitions and the challenges and the things that happen to all of us, by the way. But it's about creating an intentional life. And the only one who has the power to change your life is you. We think it's outside of us, the situation, the circumstances, the occurrences that are happening. That's just a reflection of what's going on the inside. So while we're talking about changing habits, what we really want to do is go a little bit deeper into the why you can't change these habits. And then I'm going to help you out by changing some of your beliefs about your habits. Here's a little spoiler alert. You think hitting the snooze button is bad. I'm going to show you how it's actually good for you. Isn't that exciting? Like, I don't know if you're somebody who likes to sleep in, but I know that I'm an early riser, but sometimes I like to hit the snooze button. But how you can use it to your benefit. So yummy good. And every scientist and all the research will tell you differently. You know what? You get to decide. You get to decide about that. So that is going to be super fun. All right. One of the things that we do every single week on this show is we have an intention statement. And our intention statement this week is, I have today to change my habits and change my life fast. Fast. So some of us believe that change is hard, change takes long. All of that is thinking in the 3D mind. That's very linear. But we live in a universe that's unlimited in the quantum, unlimited opportunity, unlimited potential, infinite possibilities. And so, what if that was just a program or a belief that you bought from somebody else? And that may not be true. Because I'll tell you this, I made a change. I'm going to honestly share what I did. I made a change recently in my life that was something that I quote unquote struggled with. Listen to my language. And oh, my palm is itchy. That means my mother's here. And it happened in an instant. It happened in a moment. And I've said this many times. It's one of my favorite quotes in the world, that our lives don't change in a year or a month or a day. They change in a moment. They change in a moment, the moment you decide to make a change. Something shifts, something clicks. Now, you might believe it's slow, it's steady progress. That is a story you're telling yourself. And if that's serving you, awesome. But if you want to change your life in the next 30 days, oh, Michelle, thank you so much. Well, you're an amazing student to coach. I love coaching you so much. If you're good with 30 days to change your life, and you really say, you know what, I could be a different person in 30 days, you will be. You will be. And some of what we're going to be doing is from my book, A Better Today. And this isn't a shameless plug for it. This I'm honored by. And thank you for being here, Michelle, by the way, who just told me this morning, oh my God, this book is changing my life. Thank you for that, Michelle. And she said that she knows somebody who's got a group and they're all doing this 30-day challenge. Your life changes in a moment, and how it changes is micro decisions, tiny little decisions, tiny little shifts that you can make. And what happens is those shifts start to pile on, and then you start to build momentum, and that momentum gets going, and the progress is moving, and it's happening, and the shifts are happening. So I wanted to share this today because I read these and I thought, wow, this is really good. I need to do a show on changing your life and, habits that stick. So before we get into that, I want to talk back about the intention statement, because this is one of the powerful tips that I'm going to give you today. My amazing team makes beautiful graphics. Hey, team, show the graphic of this week's intention statement. There it is right now. I have today to change my habits and change my life fast. What I want you to do is hop on over to my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official. And on my profile, you're going to see a little button that says intention statements. This graphic is already there. I want you to take a screenshot of it and use it as your screensaver for this whole week until we have next week's episode and we have a new one. I want you to focus on this every time you see your phone. Every time you see it, consciously you'll see it, and subconsciously you will as well. We check our devices on average 150 times a day. Is that not cuckoo crazy? We do, which means you're going to see this over 1,000 times in a week, and it's going to get in there. And then all of a sudden that programming is going to start to change. The reason why you can't change the habits is you're running on old programming. So what we have to do is we have to feed the computer and the database new information. And this is how we do it. So if you believe you can change your habits and change your life fast, guess what's going to happen? You can do it very, very fast. So I'm going to be sharing some of that with you. So grab that over at Instagram. And while you're over there, if you're not giving me a follow, please give me a follow if you feel called, because I have lots of fun motivation and inspiration for you there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to share some strategies with you in just a moment. But first, we're going to hear a word from our sponsor, the Spifter. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. This week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. All right, we are back and we are getting ready to rock and roll. All right, so one of the things that I want to start with right away when it comes to changing habits that are changing your life in 30 days with habits that stick is to look and give yourself an honest assessment of what are some of the areas that you want to change in your life, because we got to be able to look at it. And if you're here live, I would love some feedback. Give me your comments. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a story with you about me, about a habit, lots of my habits, but a big habit that I recently changed. And this was the one that changed instantly. And it would all have to do with my belief about it. So I recently stopped drinking alcohol. This would be considered big in my world because alcohol has been a part of my life since I was a teenager, to be honest with you. Yeah. And I didn't drink when I was pregnant with my twins. And there were many gaps in my life where I really didn't drink alcohol. In my youth, I would, when we were partying, the college years and the young 20 years. And then I went through long gaps of not doing it. Maybe if my former husband and I were meeting friends for dinner, or we were going out to, a bar to play pool or bowling or whatever, those would be times. But it was not part of my everyday life until I turned 38 years old. And what happened was I had taken a brief hiatus from ABC to be home to raise my twins. And I went back to ABC in a job share situation. So my job share partner and she would drink wine every night and she would talk about it all the time. We were together on Wednesdays and she would be jonesing for that glass of wine. Like she couldn't wait to get home and pour that glass of Cabernet. And she would talk about it all the time. And I picked up her habit. I started going home from work and opening up a bottle of wine. That was not part of my routine at all. And I will tell you, I am 59 years old. It took 20 years to break this habit. How crazy is this? Now, alcohol is also a big part of my family. And I'm certain all of you out there who are listening to this or watching this have experiences of this because it's rampant, right? It is. There's functioning alcoholism and even worse. And now it's actually become cooler not to drink alcohol. Can I get a amen to that? This is what I'm hearing. But I had been subconsciously in my mind saying, I'm going to stop drinking alcohol when I'm 50. I'm 59. I'm 59. It took 9 years to change this habit. And I had tried before. In 2020, I stopped and it was the same thing. It was like so easy. And it was just like, I'm just done. I'm done. And alcohol for me doesn't serve me well. I'm one of those people that I really feel it right away. I'm so energy sensitive and I'm so empathic and I feel it. And when I'm not having alcohol, my intuitive gifts are just on fire. My visualizations, my ability to read people, my ability to get clear messages, my ability to see spirit. I don't know how you feel about that, but this is how it is for me. By the way, I am not a practicing medium or psychic. I do this as when it comes to me, I tap into it. I don't label myself that way. I use it all in my coaching and practices. And when someone shows up, like the itchy hand that just happened, I felt my mother's presence, I'll say it. But this is not something that I go around talking about. I just am aware of how much energy is here. So that's a little side note. But where was I going with this? Okay, so then what happened was in 2020 when I stopped, Well, we all know what happened in 2020. But a dear friend of mine passed away, not from the sea. It wasn't that. He had a sudden heart attack and he died. And he was one of my best friends in the world, her fiance. And she was devastated. And I took her in, and now I feel his energy. He's thanking me. I took her in, and I really cared for her, and I started drinking again. I would sit with her and just, a glass here, a glass there. Well, you guys, it's now 2023, so it's all these years later, and it's been a recurring thing in my life. And what's been showing up, real, raw, honest with you, is all of these sabotaging things that have been happening. Now, when you have sabotaging things showing up in your life, this is a sign from the universe that a shift needs to happen. Because the SHIT is happening, so the shift can happen. That's what happens. So when those things are blowing up, like this isn't happening, something happens in a relationship, or something happens in work, or you get a diagnosis. Something is trying to wake you up. And this is what was happening to me. So I took a step back and I said, this is happening to me and for me for a reason. I know what I'm building here with I Have Today and our upcoming television network, and how we're going to impact the lives of millions and millions of women around the world, and what the vision is. And I need to elevate myself in order to be at a state where that can all happen. These self-sabotaging things are happening to try and keep me small, stuck, and safe. This is my wake-up call. So I did a little deep prayer. I did a little cleansing. I said, I need to release this and let this go, but I need to find out why I haven't stopped. Why haven't I stopped? What's been the thing? And in meditation, it came out. I traced it all the way back to a memory. When I was 10 years old, we were at our house in Deer Park, New York, and my parents, so if I was 10, my mom was in her early 30s. My dad was in his late 30s, right? Oh my God, did we have the party house? Always. We had a built-in swimming pool, and all the family and friends would come over, and whatever it was a party. There was always a reason to celebrate. So it's summertime and the house is, bustling with people in and out, and all the kids are sitting at the kitchen table. And we have coloring books and crayons and markers and sketch pads and all this stuff out. And we're all coloring and having a great time. And you guys, I sat there and I remember this vividly. I made a cigarette. I took a white piece of paper. I rolled it up like a cigarette, taped it. I colored the tip brown, and I colored the dark and gray and orange and red like it was a lit cigarette, because my parents drank and smoked, and so did everybody else. This was the 70s, baby, right? But here I am in the modeling years, from 8 to 14 years old, and now I'm modeling. And when I flashed back to that, what happened to me, because I meditate, is I instantly got the feeling, I need to drink and smoke so my parents love me. If I don't behave like they do, I'm not going to be lovable. I'm not going to be worthy. They're not going to like me. They're not going to love me. And it was like, whew. And then all of a sudden, all these things from my life, it was like my life was flashing before me of all these pieces of evidence that showed up when I was exhibiting that behavior. Okay. And I instantly changed my life in 1 second. So what I want you to do right now is think about the habits that you have. It might be procrastination. It might be binge eating or middle of the night eating. It might be alcohol. It might be avoidance. You might be hermiting. It might be fear of stepping out. It might be fear of dating. It might be whatever it is. I would love to know in the comments section. But I want you to think about what that is, or these things are, and be honest and real with yourself. Is this habit holding me back? Is this showing up in my life to show me a reflection of something where I am blocking me from my manifestations? Because where you are and where your manifestations are, the only thing in this space are the blocks you have there, the limits you believe, your beliefs about them, things that you think are true, things that you inherited from somebody else. I mean, what a crazy belief. When I found that memory, realize, you guys, this was a happy memory. It wasn't like I was getting beaten. It wasn't like some severe thing was happening to me. It was a happy memory where that thing got anchored. But that was a recurring theme throughout my life. So to be able to be free of it, it's so liberating when you find these things. So your path to making change and habits that stick is to ask yourself the deep question, why is this showing up? What's happening right now that I need to be looking at? And what's my belief about this? Because I thought if I didn't smoke or if I wasn't drinking, then I wouldn't be lovable, right? Or cool, or whatever the belief was. But the big message for me was my parents won't love me. And when you're a little, like when you're an adult hearing this right now, that seems like that's like no big deal, Diane. When you're 10 years old, it's everything. Think about growing up. Think about the times you were in school. Maybe you got bullied or somebody knocked you over or stole your lunch or you got called names or whatever. You want to die. The last thing that you want to do is go back to school. So the trauma you experience in life right now versus the trauma when you are young, it's everything. It's everything. So what happens is we keep that emotion in our body somewhere. And for me, oh my God, it was in my heart. And what we have to get it up and out. And how we do that is we acknowledge it. We find it. Now I have this guy, Kevin, who's following me on TikTok. And he said to me, what if you can't find it, Diane? I've tried everything. I've done all the things. I can't remember my childhood. And oh, hey, life past 7. Yeah, too much hermiting for sure. All right, well, we're going to address that, Benny. We will address it. So stay till the end. Now, that's what he believes. He believes he's tried everything. And if you're still there, you haven't tried everything. That's what I said to him. You haven't tried everything. And what you believe is nothing will work for me. Nothing will work for me. So I made some suggestions for him, and here's what I said. We're going to get what we believe. And it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what I'm saying to you right now. If you're not hearing what I mean, you're hearing what you believe. So my invitation to you is to forget everything you know, because the two parts of your brain, you can't learn and know at the same time. So if you're like, oh, I've heard this before, you've just shut off the capacity to learn. So go into this as a blank slate, an eager student of life, and go, I don't know anything. I don't know anything. And perhaps you'll hear something differently than you have before. Okay, so that was a huge thing. So make that list of the areas that you want to change and then start asking the questions. Where is this showing up for me? Like, how come this is showing up? Where is this sabotaging my life? Where did I get this? Let it come. Because here's the thing, the beautiful thing about this subconscious mind and your soul. The soul knows everything. The soul remembers everything. So when you start asking the questions, it's like a Google search bar. If you go into Google search and you type no pink elephants, it's going to show you evidence of like 12 million things about pink elephants. Like as soon as you ask the question, the file is going to come up. May not come up in that minute, may come up when you're washing your hands or taking a shower or driving in the car, but I promise you it'll come up like that memory did for me. So find it and be curious about it. This is what my beautiful friend, Brian Ridgway, he's been on my show 4 times, only guest I've had on 4 times, taught me. Be curious and go, how is this for me? Like, what's going on here? And you'll find it and it'll come up and out and instantly change. Instantly change. So that's the first thing that I want you to do. Now, the second thing I want you to do is, and again, not a shameless plug for my book, but I highly recommend that you read this, you get this book. We'll have a link for it at the end at my store in Amazon. All the guests that I have, all the books that I've read and books that I recommend from my guests are all in that store. So if you're looking for great reads, go to my store. So we'll have a link for that. But the purpose of this book, this 30-day challenge, it's improve your life in 30 days with this fun, inspirational, motivational challenge, is this was 100% channeled to me. 100%. I didn't have to think about this book. It just flowed through me. And it's designed to bring your self-care to a new level. As my beautiful friend, Jennifer, who read it, she did the book, and for 30 days, she did a video. She went live on Instagram with a video. She did the challenge live. It was incredible. And she said, I had no idea I could take self-care to this level. And what it does is it makes you create awareness. It stops that habitual motion that you are always in, constantly in. It's about living your life more intentionally. And you're going to feel better and better and better with each and every day of this. So one of the things that I wanted to address was on day 18. Hold on, let me find it. Let me go there, because this is what we're talking about with habits. Day 18 is titled One Thing for Another. So part of the change that we want to make is we want to replace one thing with another. So when you find this habit that you want to change and you get to the root core of it and you're able to change it, you want to give it something else to replace it with, right? This is how you stick to habits. You got to give the space, the energy, the new thing. So what I did with my habit is, since alcohol is no longer a part of my life, and that was something I used to do at the end of the day, I'd have a glass of wine, maybe 2, sometimes 3. And honestly, if I was in a writing mode, sometimes the whole bottle, if I'm being honest. And so I'm replacing that habit. And so what I did is I do have an exercise routine, but I moved some of my exercise routine to the evenings. So now I go on walks. I do wall Pilates. I do yoga. I do different things. And I'm big on my rebounder right now. I will go do something that's a better habit that makes me feel better. So when you find that habit that you want to change, you got to find something to replace it with. So what's a better serving habit for you? Let me know in the comments right now what that would be for you. And what could that be? What's a better use of that time? Hold on, I'm opening up these comments right here. Okay, let me see. So what else could you do, right? Think about that, because first you want to find it, access it. Now you want to replace it with something new. Now, the third thing I want to share with you today is the funnest part. This is the funnest part. What if you have a habit that you actually think is a bad habit and you'd rather not stop the habit? So I'm going to talk about the habit of hitting the snooze button. Does anyone who's watching this or listening this hit the snooze button? I do. Now, on many, many, many days, I get up right away and I hit the day. But there are days where I want to hit the snooze button. I like hitting the snooze button. I love that window of time. And here's what I will tell you. There's a lot of people out there, and I love Mel Robbins. I love everything she does. And she's like, no, 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 no. You set the alarm and you put it on your phone and you put the phone in the bathroom and you get up and get out of bed. And that's great. If you're one of those, people who can do that. But if you're someone who actually enjoys hitting the snooze button, it's not something like, oh God, I got to get out of bed. You actually like to hit it because you love that feeling. Use that. Use that fantastic energy, because how you're feeling in that moment is actually grateful. And gratitude and love are the highest vibrational energies, right? Emotions. They are the high vibrating ones, right? So I said, oh my God, how can I use this for my favor? So here's how I switched it around. I have a whole article on this if you want it in Brains Magazine. So if you search Brains Magazine, Diane Forster, you'll find the article. It's there. And so what I decided to do with it is, well, I like using the snooze button and I still want to get up at 5 a.m. What could I do instead? So what I did is I started setting the alarm for 4:30. Or if I normally, if I'm going to get up at 5:30, I set the alarm for 5 o'clock. But anyway, I give myself that 30-minute window to hit the snooze button. So what happens is when the alarm goes off, instantly, I go over, I hit the snooze button. And then when I lay back down, and if you want to do this, I have so much gratitude and appreciation. Before I fall back asleep, I go, oh my God, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful I woke up. I'm so grateful I get to sleep more. I'm so grateful for this warm blanket and my pillow and how warm the bed is. I'm so grateful. And I fall back asleep in gratitude. It's amazing. I'm still in the theta brainwave state, right? So what happens is that continues to raise the frequency, and it's so good for manifesting. Now, the second time the alarm goes off, I hit the snooze button again. And before I go back to sleep, I think about my big goals, dreams, and desires. I imagine I'm living that dream life, right? All the things on my vision board, all the things in my journal, all the things that I've shared with, all the things. I'm her already. And I get to lay down in this glorious bed, in this glorious life, literally living the have it all life, having everything I want, right? It's all there. That's how I spend the next 9 minutes falling asleep to that frequency. Then when the alarm goes off again, I hit the snooze. And when I go back to lay down, I go, what are the top 3 things I need to do today to make that dream life come true? That's what I do. So as I lay back down, I get it. I get the downloads. Send that email, make that phone call, do that report, I get all my direction. Even though I have my to-do list, it's sitting in my office, but now it's being guided to me. This is the next right step, Diane. This is the next right step. So then the next time the alarm goes off, I get up and I go after it. I start with my affirmation and I go use the restroom, and then I go sit and start my meditation and journaling practice, get my body moving and start my day. Okay. That is the habits that work for me, that make me highly productive, living in high vibration, gratitude and appreciation. So think about a habit that you have that you can be curious about and go, how can I make this habit work for me? What could I do to make this work for me? I hope you guys are finding this useful and helpful, because when I read your comments and got your feedback, a lot of the things that you said had to do with external things, external forces outside of you. And we are going to turn that around and bring an internal, we are not in a bad way, in a good way, in an illuminating way. And so this is what we're going to do. Just review. Remember, ask yourself those questions, especially self-sabotaging habits that you're having, like where that might be showing up for you and where that memory came from, where that belief came from. You'll link to it and connect to it. And then what is the habit that you want to replace it with? And then the third thing was, what habits do you currently have that you kind of like and you don't want to change, but how can you make them work for you? It's a whole different approach, Most of the time it's grr, like you got to hustle, you got to this, you got to, pound, all of that. And I'm putting a much more ease and flow energy around this. Like, life is supposed to be easy and fun. You need to be kinder, more gentle to yourself. So, okay. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to pause for 1 second and take a sip of water. And then we're getting ready to do the Mentor Me Minute. So if you guys are here watching live and you got a habit you want to change, a comment you want, or a question you have, put it in the comments section. And I am also going to address all the comments I got about the habits that people want to change. And I am going to mentor you live. I haven't done a Mentor Me Minute segment in a while. I'm so excited to do this. So make sure you stay for that and stay till the end, because we're going to do a mantra meditation at the end of the show. All right. So what I want to share with you right now, and team, if you could put up the graphic, I want to share with you an amazing opportunity. I am hosting a boot camp for you if you want to become a TV show host. Okay. This is a live one-day teaching that I'm doing. It's on September 29th. There will be no replays. I'm not offering it as a replay. You got to be there. But if you are out there and you are feeling invisible, like your business is going well and you're out there, maybe you're a podcaster already, maybe you're an author, maybe you're a speaker, and you want to get to the next level. You want to have greater impact in the world, but you don't really know how to do it because, let's face it, the algorithms keep changing. Our attention span keeps getting shorter and shorter, and it's harder and harder to get any traction out there. Well, what I'm going to do in this one-day boot camp is talk to you about the power of becoming a host of your own TV show and why TV is very much alive in the industry. You would think it's dead. It's not. I'm going to talk about why now more than ever, my goodness, the changes in Hollywood right now, there's never been a better opportunity for you to do this, and that your audience is waiting for you. You may think, who am I? That's just a limiting belief. Let me tell you, you are a star. You are an expert at what you do. There's no one out there like you. You are unique. We just need to work together in this one-day boot camp to put together the components of your brilliant brand and help you build a TV show during this one-day live boot camp. Now, this is valued at $497, and my clients pay me a lot of money to teach them how to launch their own show. This is a special one-time event. It's $98. That's it. But I do have limited seats because I'm teaching this live on Zoom for a very intimate group so that I can work with you one-on-one. So you can register here. The link is there. It's tvhostmaker.com/bootcamp, or you can just use the QR code that's there. Hey, team, put the QR code back up for just a minute in case anybody's just coming on. Put the graphic up. So it's tvhostmaker.com/bootcamp. So if you want, you could just scan the QR code, read all about it, and I can't wait to have you there. So you are meant to be a TV show host. You are meant to take your work out in the world in a bigger way. Oh my gosh. Stephanie says, I find it difficult to market myself. I have a big block. It's a feeling of being attacked. Can you help you? Stephanie, please come to the event. I would be happy to help you. Absolutely. That would be my honor. Yeah, you come spend the day with me, honey. That block will be gone. All right. So before we move on to the Mentor Me Minute, I just wanted to share that information with you. Yeah, so we have a lot of exciting things coming. So learn about getting your show out there in a big way, you showing up in a big way. I'll tell you this before I move on, one little quotable. I learned this from James Altucher many years ago in his book, Choose Yourself. In fact, I mentioned him in this book, A Better Today, my book. You know, follow your life by the 33 and a third% rule, a third rule. A third of the people are going to love you. A third of the people aren't going to like you no matter what you do. And a third of the people aren't going to care one way or the other. Only focus on the first third. There's 8.5 billion people on this planet. Lots of people love you. Lots of people are looking for you. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we are going to move on to the Mentor Me Minute segment. So let's do this. Hey, team, there we go. Mentor Me Minute. Here we go. All right. So what I'm going to start with first is the question that I asked. And you can answer this now. But I surveyed people and I said, what's one habit you'd like to change? And I got some answers back. So one of them was from beautiful Sarah. She said procrastinating on tasks. So here, I'm going to help you. If you consider yourself a procrastinator, let me tell you right now, throw that word out of your vocabulary. You're not procrastinating. There's something there. You just don't feel like doing it. You feel like, I just don't want to do this thing right now, right? So again, when we have to do things, use the game that I did with hitting the snooze button. How can I make this work for me so I can actually get it done? So one of the tips I'm going to share with you, first suggestion right off the bat, stop saying that word. I get done what I need to get done easily, effortlessly, and timely. I get done what I need to get done easily, effortlessly, and timely. Okay. That's your new mantra. That's your new affirmation. So start to affirm that instead. And then one of the other things is the Pomodoro method. I've talked about this before. If you don't know what the Pomodoro method is, you need to look it up. But simply stated, it's this. The concept is gamify your life. When you have something that you need to do, set a timer for 25 minutes. No distractions. Don't have your computer running. Don't have your pings going off on your phone. No distractions. Stay laser focused on it. And you are going to be blown away how much you can get done in 25 minutes. Now, when the timer goes off in 25 minutes, take 5-minute break. Go get a glass of water. Go use the restroom. Go get some fresh air. Go get a bite to eat. Anything. Just take 5-minute break and then come back and set the timer again. You're going to be blown away at how much you get done. I use this method all the time. I teach this method all the time. So that is a way to avoid procrastination. The reason why we quote unquote procrastination is you don't have an end time on something. Why is it that you always wait till the last minute to get things done? You may have 6 weeks to create a proposal. I'm currently going through this right now. I have something I've been sitting on for about 3 weeks. And I have about a week left to do it. And I know I'm going to do it right before. I don't feel bad about that. I know that the creative inspiration and the genius will come out the closer it is to the due date, right? So, but if that's you and it's hanging on you and it's lingering over, you're going to feel bad. And it's like, oh, procrastination. Set yourself a timer, gamify it, and get that baby done. Doesn't it feel so good when you get something done ahead of time? And then like you celebrate and then you're sort of like, all right, what's next? There's a part of your brain that enjoys having other things to do, right? Working on it. So get that word out of your mouth, start implementing the Pomodoro method. All right. So that was one. Okay. Now, Casito said one habit is eating late at night. Okay. I work with a few people who have this same habit in their lives. They actually call it a syndrome, a disorder. I got them to throw those words out. No. That's labeling again. I don't even like the word addiction. Okay. I understand why you use it, but I just said, you know, it's not the craving of the food. It's not what you're eating. It's eating you. And if you saw my show with Nina Sautel Rockland, did I say that backwards? Nina Rockland Sautel, Seville. Really, I butchered her name. I'm sorry, Nina. You know I love you. Nina Rockland Seville. Amazing. The binge cure expert. So it's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you. So again, go back to asking the questions, find out where that came in. Maybe, Casito, you grew up in a home where I have a girlfriend that did this. She and her father would wake up in the middle of the night. Her father did this for years, God rest his soul, he recently passed away. And he would get up in the middle of the night and he would break out the Oreos and the milk. He would have cookies and milk. That was their thing, Oreos and milk. And when she woke up as a little girl, she started doing it with him. Like, that was beautiful father-daughter time. They would meet in the kitchen. Sometimes they'd, pass each other in the night, but many times they would sit there in silence, dunking their Oreos in their milk and eating them. They'd eat like a sleeve of cookies, right? So that could, again, remember what the story I said at the beginning? My alcohol came from a addiction to it. I don't want to use that word, but my drinking came from a happy memory. So that is probably true for you. So think about what that eating habit is. What is the hole that you're trying to fill because of it? Then what's a better habit you could do to replace it? Now, here I'm going to give you suggestions. So just think about this. Think about things that you like. Like, do you like tea? Is tea something that you enjoy? Or maybe it is something like milk or something sweet. Like, I'm a big almond milk person. But what's something that you could replace that habit with that would get you through the night and you wouldn't get up with that? Now, one of the things I started doing is I eat non-fat Greek yogurt, organic non-fat Greek yogurt with a scoop of chocolate flavored collagen powder. Those two things together, sometimes I put dark chocolate chips in there for a little bit more. But those two things mixed together taste like almost like frozen yogurt. And it's 35 grams of protein. It's 200 calories and it satiates that sweet tooth and can get me through the night. So what's a healthy choice you could do to get through the night? And when you go to bed, affirm, I sleep peacefully through the night and I dream well. I wake up refreshed, feeling amazing. That's a different intention. That's different energy. So try that. Okay, I hope that helped. All right, I have time for two more. Let me see what time it is. Yeah, we're running out of time here. Woo, the show's going so well. Okay, oh my gosh. All right, let me read through these to see which one is the best. Don't want to smoke. Amar, same thing with the drinking. Find the habit where that came in for you and replace that habit with something healthier and better. Okay, and don't beat yourself up about it. Somebody wants to spend reduced time on social media. Gamify it. Gamify it. I only look at social media twice a day. Give yourself the permission. Maybe your time on social media is 15 minutes in the morning or 15 minutes at lunch. And then maybe at the end of the day, you give yourself an hour. When the timer goes off, get off the device. Go do something else. Be diligent about it. That's the thing. We have these open-ended things. When you structure it like this, it's going to be effective for you. And I love all the viewers we have here today. So amazing. Okay. You want to be more productive? That is, I answered that with procrastination, right? Start using the Pomodoro method. Get really clear about your productivity. What is productive for you? Oh, hey, Paula, so nice to see you here live. You're definitely going to have to catch the replay. All right. Let me see what else. This is a good one. Salvador, you are training too hard. This is a big one, you guys. You think you have to work so hard to get results. This is from a lifetime of growing up with images, family members, parents. You were witnessing parents working hard. My dad, for some years, many years, worked 3 jobs. He was never around. Of course, I grew up with the belief, God, you got to work hard for money, right? That's a belief. Find where it came from. And your body, you think that if you're not in this, if you're not working this hard, you won't get the results. I will tell you right now, I made some shifts. I stopped going to the gym. I stopped all the ellipticals and the treadmilling, the machine. I stopped it all. It wasn't serving me. It was actually tearing me down. And I switched. I switched to walking. I switched to Pilates. I switched to yoga. I switched to things that are better and more graceful and better for my body. And I cannot believe the results. And I don't do it for that long, you guys. It's 30 minutes a day if it's not a walking day. It's 60 minutes if it's a walking day too. So, Salvador, Sal, please, what if you were lighter on yourself and didn't do that? What would the results be? What actually feeds your soul? Do the replace. I want you to replace the habit. Okay? Oh my God, you guys, I would love to get to all of these. And I think I covered the gist of them. Let me see if there's anything else. Let me just say this last thing. I'm actually going to address this in the mantra meditation. I'll give you a precursor to it so you can really get it. Oh, I got goosebumps. Spirit wants me to do this. Not giving a rip what other people think. That is not the language, but this is a clean show. Not caring what other people think. Worrying about what other people think who don't deserve my time. That, my friend, is anchored in anger. So what we're going to do right now is I am going to help you. Oh, Michelle, thank you so much. Yes. Michelle, who's here, said, meet my coach, Diane, who has helped me realize my dream. You're such a pleasure to work with. And everyone who is hearing this, listening to this, here live, catching the replay, you all have big goals and dreams and desires. Stick with me right now so that I can open them up for you and help you think bigger, live better, live bigger, live without the fear and the doubt and the insecurity. All right, this is something that we do every episode, okay? This is our live mantra meditation. What I want to do is take all the information that we talked about today and blend it in with intentional living. And how we live intentionally is we're going to go out of this show with a mantra meditation based on what we talked today. So I channel it live and I hope you enjoy it. So if you're driving, obviously you can't do this. You can listen, even though you can't close your eyes, okay? For everybody else, please stop what you're doing. Please don't multitask. Give me 2 to 3 minutes of your time as we close out this show. All right? I want you to put your feet flat on the floor, your hands on your lap. We only have time for 1 breath today. Normally we would do 2. And what we're going to do is the visualization is this. Breathe in for 4, pull it all the way down to your tailbone, which is your root chakra. Then you're going to count to 8 and you're going to send energy to all 8 of your chakras. Your root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown, and your soul star. This one's really important. This is where the Akashic records live. This is where all the information comes to you. We want to send energy there. Then blow it out like you're blowing out a birthday candles on a cake, really hard for 8 seconds. Get all that toxicity out. Then just listen to my words. We're only going to do it once. Here we go. So breathe in for the count of 4. Hold it as you count to 8 and send that energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And blow it out for 8. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles big and small, I notice them all. Yes, 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 thank you. I have today to change my habits and my life fast. I am releasing all the limiting beliefs that I inherited over my lifetime that made me believe that change is hard and it's difficult. I am going to release my attachment to the way I thought I had to live my life. I'm going to be kinder and gentler with myself because here's what I discovered today. I am the one in the power. I am here to live my most authentic, the biggest, brightest, most beautiful, loving, grateful life of my life. I am on my own path and journey, and I'm going to release the attachment to how others feel about me. Whatever they think is true for them does not make it true for me. I can change any habit I have in my life, especially the ones that I consider to be disempowering. I'm going to know that unconditional love is my purpose. It's who I am. I'm perfectly imperfect. I am a work of art and I am a work in progress. There's nothing wrong with me. And each and every day, I am going to create the awareness of how intentional I want to live my life. If it's not serving me anymore, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to replace those habits with new empowering habits. And it's going to be easy and it's going to be fun. And I'm going to gamify my life. I'm going to connect with my inner child and remember that I have a beautiful imagination that I get to use every day. I have today to love my life, this brand new version of me, releasing those habits that no longer serve me, not using that language anymore, and living an empowered, inspired, intentional life from this day forward. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank you all for being here. It's been an honor and a privilege to spend this time with you today. Again, write in the comment section if you're seeing this live. That's awesome. Write live. If you're catching the replay, write replay. You can find me at Diane Forster Official everywhere. And the show is called I Have Today with Diane Forster. Either you catch it as a TV show or you catch my podcast. And the last thing is, register for my TV show hosting boot camp. The link will be in the comment section, and get my book, A Better Today. This is going to transform your life in a fun, easy way. I love you so much. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.